US film schools graduate as many as 50,000 students per year. Despite that, there's only about 8.2 thousand job openings in the film industry per year, which means you only have a 16.4% chance of getting hired if you only go against those 50,000 new students. That doesn't take into account the other 440,000 other people that work in the film industry that may be also looking for a job. So does going to film school mean that you can become a full-time filmmaker? Absolutely not. Okay, hear me out. The real question isn't, do I need to go to film school to become a full-time filmmaker? What you should ask yourself is, what do I need to do to become a full-time filmmaker? As someone who is a full-time filmmaker and has a Bachelor of Arts in New Media, which is videography and filmmaking, I can personally tell you that going to college was more of a 4-year setback than step forward. After I graduated, I found myself working a dead-end office job. It was not what I wanted to do. If you're watching this, you're one of 3 people. You're thinking about going to film school, you're in film school or majoring that in college, or you want to become a full-time filmmaker / videographer. I was where you are a year ago, and what was able to take me from 0 to hero was a secret method that I learned last year that in like 4 to 6 months, it allowed me to quit my job and pretty much just get paid to click record on my camera. And throughout that process, I found 2 alternatives to film school that you could start today. If I would have done them straight out of high school, I would be 4 years ahead of where I am now. But before we get into anything, it looks like about 99% of all viewers aren't subscribed. Go ahead and turn that subscribe button into a subscribe button. The first alternative to film school, which this might be the single most important topic of this video, because the revenue that I was able to create from this thing is what really allowed me to become self-employed and go full-time. And it's a little something I like to call videography. Hear me out. I know videography and filmmaking are pretty similar, but they're not the same. Becoming a videographer is a filmmaking cheat code, if done correctly. If you create a little bit of time into creating a brand, it could literally be your name plus production. So if your name is Mike Smith Productions. Personally, I Googled film terms, found the word archetype, thought, hey,
that sounds pretty cool. It's their productions at the end of it.
And then you put together some packages in different niches. Then all you have to do is find someone who either works in one of those things or owns one of those businesses and tell them you're a videographer. Don't say you're a new videographer, just say videographer, and offer to make them some content. Just tell them you'll do the first one for free and let them know that you have paid packages. And if they really like that free one, then they can by all means purchase one of the packages. Starting a video business, coupled with the secret method that I'm going to talk about at the end of the video, was literally life-changing for me. And it can be for you too. Disclaimer, this isn't gonna be a super simple thing that's gonna immediately equate to clients and revenue. You're pretty much just building a business from scratch, so you're gonna have to put in some work. I also really wanna mention that one of the things that was really able to help me out was being willing to invest in myself and in my company. Taking a leap of faith, buying equipment, investing in a mentor.
Well, I like the idea that like, oh, I just own a camera that maybe I got for Christmas or
Some of the biggest things I've learned have came from my mentors. As a matter of fact, my main mentors don't have a videography or filmmaking degree, and despite that, they still make 6 figures in their video business. Think about what you would do with that kind of money. When I first started my video business, the first thing I ever booked was an event for an airport. And at the time, all I had was this Canon SL3 with just the kit lens and this little 50mm. And I thought to myself, this is not enough. I'm gonna embarrass myself. They're not gonna think this video is worth it. So I went out and bought a gimbal. Keep in mind, I was fresh out of college and I was pretty much still a broke college kid. But I took the leap of faith. So I pull up, I do the best that I can, I deliver the videos, and they freaking love them. But most importantly, I was able to take those videos to future clients, and the clients that I was able to book from those videos ended up paying off the gimbal and quickly turned into profit. That was just an example of how if you believe in yourself and you're willing to invest, good things can come from it. For the second alternative for film school, this one will require just as much work, but you won't necessarily see the fruits of your labor until later on. And this one's gonna require a lot of creativity. And this one's gonna be social media content creation. I know both of these sound obvious, but hear me out. Hypothetically, if you were told that you have 4 years to figure out what you're gonna do after those 4 years are over, do you personally think that you're gonna figure it out during the 4 years or at the end of the 4 years? And be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself, you're waiting till the last year. How much further do you think you would be if for 4 straight years you created a bunch of videos and failed a bunch of times and had a ton of learning opportunities from those failures? Trust me, dude, you're gonna learn a lot more from that than from sitting in a classroom and hearing a professor talk about color science and 1990s film set designs. The reason I say that content creation is an alternative is because the barrier of entry is literally in your pocket right now, or maybe in your hand if you're watching this on your phone. You can create a page or channel based around the type of videographer or filmmaker that you want to be, and as you grow, your credibility and authority grow with you. How many times have you seen a series that starts with someone saying,
"This is day 1 of building a bus with my best friends, and at the end of the summer, we're gonna ride it across America."
1 month, we turned this school bus into a fully decked out RV.
And after thousands of hours ripping up flooring, installing seats, a bunk bed, and
Put it in the kitchen.
imagine that, but you doing that with a movie or with building a business, video business. Are you starting to see the bigger picture? By the way, bro, if you didn't notice, I'm literally doing both of those things. Before I mention the method that helped me go from nobody to daddy, I want to say that going to college was a pretty good time, and being a college athlete was probably the best experience of my life, and being part of all the clubs and the fraternity that I was a part of is definitely a lifelong experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. For those reasons, I'm grateful that I did go to college, so do with that information what you will. But now for the secret method that took me from wannabe to too busy. It's a little something I learned from Parker Walbeck at a full-time filmmaker, and it's called free to fee. Let's say that you're a beginner, but you've done a little bit of video work and you want to start charging to make videos, right? And then you go to a client and you've never done the type of video that they need, so you have nothing to show them. With free to fee, it just means that every time you're about to do a new type of video, just do the first one for free. That way you could take that to your client or to future clients and use that as the proof of concept. That way they'll know what they're getting and how long it'll take for them to get that. I know I touched on that a little bit throughout the video, but that's the name of the term, is free to fee. You could literally change your life just like that. But yeah, that's my take on going to film school. Like I said, I have a bachelor's that I do not need and do not use because I ended up going the self-employed route. And it's a competitive world out there, so if you do go the route of trying to find a job, good luck to you, brother. If you're interested in seeing what I keep in my camera bag, go ahead and tap this video right here. And for some reason, YouTube seems to think that you would like this video. Thanks for watching, big bro.